Now what's up with it, Woadies and Woadettes? This is TK with Cuts by Kelly. In this video, we're doing a bald fade, and his hair is real curly. I wanted to show this because I thought it was a common haircut that you get, and it's just I guess your basic techniques on doing this bald fade. Hopefully you like it, and if you do, like, subscribe. Also, leave a comment if you have any questions or concerns about what I'm doing in this video. If you have any other things that you want to learn that I haven't been putting out, leave that in the comments. I'll try to do what I can to make that happen for you. So, with that, let's get into the video. Yeah. Here we go. It's the mid fade that we're doing. It's going to be a bald fade. You can see his hair is real curly. So to me, when you have this type of hair that it curls up right after you comb it, some of your best haircuts are low, because no matter what you do, if you keep a nice amount of hair on their head, it's going to curl right back up after they comb it or brush it. Like, they would have to be on it to keep it from curling back up, and the only option that would help it lay down is if they be heavy with the do-rag and a product on their hair to keep it laying down. So for this type of hair, my recommendation is to have a low haircut. But right here, that's my 1A guard that I got on top, and that's what we're going to fade into. A 1A guard that's on top, and we're fading into that. I'm going with the grain too. Okay, some of you might know this is not too hard, but I want to show this whole little process of me going over the top so you can understand the directions. The direction where you're going to comb the hair is the direction that you're going to cut it. So back here where the swirl is at, the hair grows in different directions, so it's important that you comb it first and then cut. Because when you're going with the grain, if you cut against the grain, it's going to cut it real low. It's not as forgiving. So you want to know the direction of the hair growth. Again, his hair is curly, so it's important that I comb it so I can know the direction. I don't want to guess at this thing and mess it up. So just keep that in mind when you're cutting with the grain. Make sure you comb the hair, and also make sure you have the clippers laying down on their head to make sure it cuts smoothly. So that's some tips I have for that. Here I go, setting in my guideline, my midway point with all the way open, no guard, with my Envy Li with the fade blade. Now I'm setting my top line. I'm debulking it with my 1/8 guard, and I'm setting my top line at the same time. Now when you have hair like this on top that's kind of dark and at a low level, it might be hard for you to see what hair you're cutting off. So I'm going to point this out after we finish debulking this area. I'm going to point it out just so you can see the difference. Okay, here it is. On the left, you can see the hair is got the bulk in it. On the right, it's removed. You can see how light it is. Hopefully you can see it. If you can't, just keep looking at it. You'll see it over time. You'll notice the difference. But it's subtle like that when you're dealing with this type of hair that's already cut low. You won't be able to see the debulking as good if your eyes are not developed. It just takes time, so don't get mad. It's going to take time, and you're going to see it eventually. Right here, I'm just going through my fading process. This time I'm not starting from the middle. I'm starting from the bottom. So I'm gonna go close, quarter, 3/4. We already set our open line at the middle in the midway point. After that, I'm going to put on my 1/16 guard and finish it out. Okay, we did close and quarter. Now I'm going to 3/4, and we're going to knock out that line with the 3/4. After that, like I said, the midway point is already set with all the way open, no guard. Okay, now that we got our lines out the way, the bottom out, faded out, now we're going to put on our guard. Man, do you like this content? Well, hit the like button. Would you like to see more? Well, hit the subscribe button, man. Alright, let's get back to the video. We got our 1/16 guard on, and we're using the corner of our clipper. Just keep that in mind. Use your corner so you don't make the line too heavy as you're fading it out. You don't want to knock out a line and then create another heavy line. You want to fade out each line. That way, once you get to the top, you'll be finished fading. So we're still working our way up. Right now we're at 1/4 of the way up. We did close, now we're doing 1/4 of the way open. We got 2 more steps to do. And this is with the 1/16 guard. But if you watch it, you're gonna notice that it's fading out. It's fading out pretty good. Right now we're going into the 3/4 now. I'm doing 3/4 of the way. And like I mentioned before, I'm using the corner of my clipper so I can continue to fade. So here we go, we're going to all the way open. I got my blade all the way open with the 1/16 guard on there, and I'm using the corner of my clipper. I can't stress that enough. And you can see how this is blending with that 1/8 that we set at the beginning. We set the 1/8 all the way open to debulk, and now we're coming in with the 1/16 using the corner, and you can see how it's blending together. So just for this first little walkthrough with the fade, we went over everything one time basically. You can see the fade is pretty good. So if you follow these steps, you can put out some decent work as a beginner. Right now, y'all see me going through this lineup. The rules for lineup is trying to take off less with the most impact, so just keep that in mind. You don't want to dig into a lining and just take off too much, because the next time they come in, if they do come back, you will see that like, whoa, I took off way too much, and then you got to go through that rebuilding process of letting their hair grow out, and then the client really will notice it, like, man, this dude went back like 1/4 of an inch on my head. So take off less, and if it ain't as sharp as they want it, or if you will want it as you want it, I mean, you can take off a little bit more to accomplish that. Just don't be too aggressive and go straight into it and mess it up, because you can't turn back after you cut it off. Y'all see how I held those clippers? Typically, I don't hold my clippers like that to line up. I'm really just doing that really because I'm trying to show y'all on the camera. 9 times out of 10, I hold it I guess the normal way. So I mean, if you want to hold your clippers like that, cool. But I'm just saying that's not nothing I do naturally. I just did it because of the video. Another tip with the lining is when I do my linings, I gotta turn them to the mirror to make sure I got it straight. The worst thing that can happen is that you finish the lining and let the person walk out, and then when you look at their hair on the street or someone else sees it, or if they see it, it's not straight across. So use the mirror like I'm doing right now just to make sure it's straight across. But man, this is pretty much the end of this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well if you like my content. This right here is pretty much the after. He got the blend going with the nice line, and like I said, his hair is real curly, so the low haircut is pretty good for this. If you see the blend, I think it's pretty good. I hope you like it. If you do, make sure you subscribe to this channel. But with that, this is TK with Cuts by Kelly, and I appreciate you.